Hello and welcome to another free code session. My name is Jason Bach. Still working on the open generics. I have a list of things that I still need to fix. I'm narrowing it down. I'm getting this better. I can't remember in the last episode how far I got on fixing these things, but at this point I know, because I was doing some work here and there in between the last episode and now recording this one, of getting this so that it's actually passing all the tests and the runs and everything else. So I fixed some places. These are other ones I found now that I need to fix. So let's just get right to it. So the first one is shims. So what I mean by that is when we generate a shim, I don't know if this is actually where this is coming, because where this is coming from is when we call the base dot, and that's not in here. This is when you actually build a method, though I got the feeling we are probably going to want to pass in the type parameters here as well, because again, we were assuming name here, and that's not true. And we don't want to collide with any type names. So on the main class. So given that type mock model, this is the shim type. And so we need to create these shims. How does this actually work? I totally forgot. I mean, I know what it does. I just forgot what it actually builds. So in this case, we have an interface that has a default interface member. Then we do get key type. Otherwise, we go to the shim, and that's something of this. And when we create it, that is done here, sort of. Okay, this is the shim itself. So this, I think, would need to be aware of the properties, because we come up here. These are all the shims. And that's right, because we're saying all you need to pass in is the expectations, but we know that you need to set these fields of these types. Okay, so yes, all the shim builders return values, think base, because we have to do when we call the base and then the builders. What we're going to do is come up here in the create and just grab one of these, because I'm doing this everywhere. Okay. And so we need to say shim type here. Oh, crap. Type. Yay. Yay. Okay. So now returns void, returns by ref. Return type, we need to say here ref of type argument, name and context, this stuff. There we go. Now let's grab this. So we're probably going to need it in a bunch of other places. Parameter is the type fully qualified name as well. We're going to want to do that and that. And then we do, that's all good. Attribute description. And then accessibility and explicit name. The explicit name, we don't care about that. I think that's just like if it's, yeah, okay. So here, though, we want type parameters. So if we come back here, we want the type, well, type arguments, whatever. I know there is a difference, but. So we do that. We're going to pass that in here. And then we do that here. And I believe those are just the parameters themselves. And we cast it. Why do we cast it? Why do we cast it? Oh, we do have the builder test here. This is in the shim itself. We're casting it here. And that's not generic, but it could be. So we definitely want to put the shim type's type fully qualified name. I don't know off the top of my head those are just properties. Here we're, oh, we don't have shims here that actually, as duplicates occur. We do have one though that we call, yeah, that. Now if that has, then we do need those. So we need to put type arguments here as well. No, type, I thought yeah, okay. So I believe, why are you still being a pointer? Stop it. There you go. Okay. So that's the method builder. What about the index builder? The index builder would just always be this. But the return type, index or type fully qualified name, that could be. I'm going to want to do this again. And part of me is like, I should just carry that around everywhere, on naming context, because it's clear that the type that we're trying to mock needs variable naming context. Okay, so then here, indexers contain, no, not there. Here. Okay. Those are the parameters. That's just the indexer and the parameters. So I don't think get signature here. We are going to, crap, variable naming context there. Okay, and then we're going to need that. No, don't be that dumb. Okay. So that gives us a signature, and yes, you don't know what type or naming context. Now you do. Okay. So I think that takes care of the indexes, indexers, and now the properties. The properties, yeah, probably the return type we need to do that for, unfortunately. Okay, so we'll grab that. And then we'll come down by here and say, yep. And the get and set doesn't matter. That's just a shims type, I don't think these matter, but what may be problematic here is that it has the type name in it, and we can't have that there. But those are at the type level. Those we don't have to worry about. Yeah, actually, I think I might be overthinking this. Because for a property, yeah. For a property and a indexer, you can't make those generic, so they would never have this. Yeah, I overthought that. They don't need this. Indexer doesn't need it either. They can get type names from the type itself. That's fine. But they don't get their own types, like a method can be generic. So I'm going to take that off. Undo. I could have just undid what I did with get. That's fine. But there. So actually, yeah, the builders now is done because we did that for that. Now what we need to do, save. Let's just say, make sure that the method has a yeah. Okay. Now what we need to do though is in the value, and this is only for creates, this is not for makes. Somewhere in here, yeah, we're saying what's our target? That's right, because there's the case of it should not throw an exception. Here the target could be a shim or a base. Either way, we need to have the type arguments. Am I going to get so lucky as to... I am. Nice. So that does that. And then in the void builder, we need to do the same thing. There. Okay. All right, so I think we got the... Oh. Well, the return values. Oh, yeah, that's what I meant, not the actual return. Okay, so now I think we got shims done. Expectation handling defaults. Think where it calls the, yeah, okay. Good thing my notes were barely good enough that I could remember what I was talking about. And again, this is only for methods. We don't care about this for indexers or properties because they won't have this come up. What I'm getting at is generated with defaults. Yes, we turn around here and we call the method name with the parameter values. But what we don't do is call the method name here with those as well. This is fine though, and this should also be fine. Yep, those are fine. So that's good. So I think we just got that one done as well. Now let's do a quick look at all of the projected type things. So I think I handled delegate builder. That already changed. Yeah, that one's good. So there should be something in here about projected types builder. So let's just go through this. Delegate builder. If I look at this, build delegate, projected delegate, build delegates, blah, 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 blah. Somewhere up here, when we call build here, we eventually just say, okay, type method's length is greater than 0, where it requires a projected delegate, and no. We build delegates for that. So we only do them for properties that also require a projected delegate. Okay. And a projected delegate would be because I don't remember. I know I got to handle this, but it's hard to get my head. Let me just run the tests and see where I'm at. 14 failed, which is actually better than what it was before. So let's take a look at what those are. Ref struct generator tests. Well, that ain't surprising because let's see what's going on here. Yeah, it didn't even put on the handler. The handler, where are we doing the handler building? Property, types, delegate, value void index. That's a handler list builder. Okay. And so there we're deriving from something. That's the handler base type, which could be this. Okay. So when we call into this, we get projections arg for type, which is the projected handler name, which is for the, no. This is not what I'm looking for. If I come back to the handler list, oh, that's the whole handler base type. I want the callback delegate name. That's what I want. Okay, sorry, I was looking at the wrong thing. So this is the delegate name, which is the projected callback delegate name, which is set as this as a signature hash, because that ends up being that. Fine, that's the callback underscore. What we need here, type arguments. Right? Yes, we do. So the signature here, the signature, what am I doing here? What am I doing here? Requires a projected delegate. Those are all the type arguments. The type arguments, well, what did I just say about the mock type being something that we want to carry around its type arguments as a naming context? But the mock type itself is just a type reference model. And we don't want to create a variable naming context for all of them. The mock type is like a special type reference model. But that's okay. That's all right. That's not in my buffer. Damn it. Okay. At some point, I'm going to hit this where it just all works. This mock type. And I've already assigned it above. Yep, that's the first thing I do. So that's fine. So we get that. We say type arguments select Okay, because we were giving an equatable array, now we're giving an enumerable, but it's going to go through all them and add them. What that actually does, I'm not sure. Because we use the signature to get the signature hash. So we were already doing this, and for most of the cases I have, that shouldn't change the hash value. I'm just thinking about code changes. But as we saw here, we were not getting the actual, we're missing t source pixel there. Which I'm kind of looking at this going, how did it, here. Yes, so maybe this is just to get a signature. In this case, do we really, no we don't. Because the only thing this does is it makes that, yeah, okay. So that's fine. We do need it here though. Type to mock, type arguments. And now here, we need to do this. Well, no, not here. We need to say select like that and then that. There. Now we won't have an empty. Why are we create expectations? I don't understand this. These type arguments are for, yeah. Back that all up here. I'm a little confused. So if we get the projected, who's calling this? A lot of places. We get the callback delegate type name. Okay, I'm really confusing myself right now, which is not good. This is where we do, okay. If I go back to where I'm making a handler, the handler base type says, essentially, it's saying Rock's handler here. Okay? Like one down here. Then is callback type name and return type name. Now the return type name would do the comma return type name. That's a little crappy, but you know, that's what I do. The callback delegate type name either gets delegate builder or it gets the projected callback name. So in this case, it's getting a callback name. That's what it's sticking in here. Okay. But we used to get the generic with it. So come back up here, type arguments doesn't get added to the name of the delegate. It gets added to create expectations, and that makes sense because those are the names of the thing and the type, and those we don't change. This delegate name, though, does. But if I look at how it's being created, and I come back up here, all it's doing is this. So I'm going to stop here because I'm really confused. I've got to be missing something completely obvious as to how it gets that, because I can see where the hash code comes in here. We just say with the signature here, we get the hash, and that's just a big integer, and that's what gets printed out here. But I don't see how we actually get a callback underscore. That's the projected callback name. That's here. And then we use that. Okay, last thing I'm going to do. Where did I get this from? This is create with OpenGenerics. I want to see how this flows through because I'm being very stupid. I can't see where it's actually picking up. So that's right. And then we come back here, and now that's just that. We do that. And the callback type name, that's 15. Well, yeah, we're doing this now because we did it wrong. Somewhere I made a change that completely messed this up. So I'm going to have to stop here because I don't know what I did to get this into a spot where it's not giving us the type arguments back from projected call. Let me just do a quick. No, it just gives callback signature hash. So then, okay, fine. But then up here, did we do something that delegate? No. Well, why did I move it off of here? Because I used to, I knew I had to move it here. Because we now need to have the type arguments here. And when it was a closed generic, I didn't care about them here. But with a delegate, the method type arguments, yes. But I changed these to type. Okay. I just realized what I did wrong. I did it right and I did it wrong. Both things. The type arguments, yes, need to be here, but we also need the var method arguments, which is what this is. Okay. These need to be the method arguments. And that's what needs to go after the delegate name. Like that. Okay. So this, though, we need to have from something like a value builder. We need to grab this again. And this needs to be typed to mock. And now here we need to say on the method arguments, this needs to be a select that, and that. There. Now I think our type builder, protected types builder. Okay, I'm not saying I fixed everything, but let me just see now with this one what we got. And then I'm going to stop because I'm way over what I usually do. Oh my God. I did all of that in edit and continue. I never do that. That's so bad of me. Okay, now if we go through all this, go back. Yes, now we have T-source pixel there. So now, if we say run this, I'm not saying I fixed it, but let's see what we get back as a result. Now it passes. Okay, and if I now come here and I say rocks tests, how many more do I have to fix? I know there's still some. It's not completely done, but I know I fixed at least one. At least one. And even if I fix all my tests, that doesn't mean I fixed all the cases that are going to come up in the CodeGen test app. But, baby steps. 10 failed. Okay. We are getting closer. I may do some of this fix-up work off camera and get it to the end, or I might do that in the next episode. I'll see what I feel like, but we are getting closer. Thank you all for watching. Leave comments and questions below. See you in the next episode.